There's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
In recent months, California has once again been ravaged by devastating wildfires, a recurring phenomenon that has become synonymous with the state's dry climate and environmental conditions. However, the latest wave of fires has taken on an unusual dimension, sparking widespread speculation and controversy due to their timing and impact on high-profile properties. Among the most notable casualties of these fires was the home of Sean Diddy Combs, a prominent figure in the entertainment industry whose residence succumbed to the flames amidst ongoing legal scrutiny. Reports indicate that just days before a scheduled raid on his property, set for 4:32 p.m., authorities received a 911 call alerting them to a suspect attempting to ignite a fire in the Woodland Hills community. This individual was promptly detained by local residents and taken into custody by officers from the Els Tanga area. The connection between these events and the broader narrative surrounding Diddy is both compelling and contentious. Allegations suggest that Diddy had been aware of the impending raid and had managed to conceal incriminating evidence against several celebrities within secret tunnels scattered across California. These allegations have fueled rumors that the wildfires were not merely natural disasters, but orchestrated acts by Hollywood elites aiming to obliterate this evidence. Such claims are further supported by insights from Allison Carter, a former participant in Diddy's infamous parties, who had forewarned about these orchestrated fires prior to their occurrence. Despite initial skepticism, her predictions have proven accurate, lending credibility to her assertions and intensifying public intrigue. This unfolding drama underscores a complex web of suspicion and intrigue, where the lines between coincidence and conspiracy blur. As investigations continue and more details emerge, the intertwining narratives of celebrity scandals, potential cover-ups, and environmental disasters paint a picture that is as perplexing as it is alarming. The destruction caused by these fires extends beyond physical loss, delving into realms of power, influence, and the lengths to which some might go to protect their secrets. As the smoke cleared over the charred landscapes of California, whispers of a deeper conspiracy began to surface. The wildfires, according to mounting reports, were not random acts of nature, but deliberate actions orchestrated by powerful figures within Hollywood. The primary motive? To destroy evidence linked to Sean Diddy Combs, whose alleged ties to compromising materials involving numerous celebrities had long been the subject of clandestine speculation. According to insiders, Diddy had strategically hidden incriminating evidence, rumored to include tapes, documents, and other sensitive materials, in underground tunnels scattered across California. These tunnels, shrouded in secrecy, were said to house evidence implicating some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. The urgency behind the fires became clearer when investigators revealed that Diddy had narrowly avoided a raid on his property. Just minutes before authorities were set to execute a search warrant, he allegedly managed to relocate or destroy key pieces of evidence. However, what remained in those tunnels posed a significant threat to the reputations and possibly the freedom of those implicated. This revelation gave rise to the theory that Hollywood elites, fearing exposure, conspired to eliminate the evidence entirely. By orchestrating wildfires, they could mask their actions under the guise of natural disaster, creating plausible deniability while achieving their objectives. Adding weight to this theory were the accounts of multiple witnesses who reported suspicious activity during the fires. Andrew Huberman, a well-known podcaster, shared chilling details after spotting individuals in ski masks deliberately starting fires in areas that were otherwise untouched. His observations were corroborated by others, including Chris Brown, who took to Instagram to hint at the deliberate nature of the fires. "Someone starting these fires doesn't add up," Brown cryptically posted, fueling public suspicion. Similarly, Peter Merat-Troyd reposted a tweet highlighting reports of 5 men intentionally igniting flames in non-burning zones, further deepening the mystery. Allison Carter, whose earlier warnings about the orchestrated fires had gone unheeded, emerged as a central figure in validating these claims. Having worked closely with Diddy during his infamous parties, Carter had intimate knowledge of the operations and the individuals involved. Her assertion that the fires were part of a calculated effort to bury evidence resonated strongly with the public, especially given her track record of accuracy in exposing Diddy's activities since 2021. She described how certain Hollywood elites, desperate to protect their secrets, had resorted to extreme measures, including lighting fires in densely populated urban areas. One such incident occurred at 302 Pico in Santa Monica, where civilians reportedly witnessed individuals igniting flames despite the absence of any natural wildfire triggers. These accounts collectively painted a disturbing picture of a coordinated effort to erase evidence through chaos and destruction. The deliberate targeting of specific locations, many of which were linked to celebrities rumored to be on Diddy's infamous list, further reinforced the notion that these fires were anything but accidental. As the investigation unfolded, the convergence of witness testimonies, insider revelations, and the sheer scale of destruction pointed to a sinister agenda. The wildfires, far from being mere acts of nature, appeared to be the result of calculated actions designed to conceal the truth and protect the powerful. Amidst the swirling rumors and mounting evidence linking the wildfires to a broader conspiracy, one name has repeatedly surfaced as a focal point of intrigue: the so-called Diddy list. This enigmatic compilation, allegedly uncovered during last year's raid on Diddy's property, purportedly contains the names of numerous high-profile celebrities implicated in scandalous activities tied to his infamous parties. While the authenticity of the list remains unverified, its existence has ignited a firestorm of speculation, with many questioning whether the celebrities named on it are directly connected to the orchestrated fires. Public discourse has been rife with accusations, though concrete proof tying the list to the wildfires is still elusive. The list itself is said to include a staggering array of A-list personalities, ranging from musicians and actors to athletes and influencers. Names like Oprah Winfrey, Jennifer Lopez, Will Smith, Alicia Keys, Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg, Snoop Dogg, and Chris Brown have all been mentioned in various leaks and reports. While some dismiss these allegations as baseless gossip, others view the list as a roadmap to understanding the motivations behind the fires. According to leaked audio and video footage, Diddy allegedly boasted about possessing compromising material on these individuals, suggesting that the list serves as a ledger of leverage over some of the most influential figures in Hollywood. The implications of the Diddy list extend far beyond idle speculation. If the allegations hold any truth, the list could represent a systematic effort to document and exploit the vulnerabilities of powerful elites. For instance, the inclusion of names like Naomi Campbell and Usher raises questions about the extent of their involvement or awareness of the activities that transpired at Diddy's gatherings. Tracy Ellis Ross, Timbaland, Rick Ross, and Julianne Hough are also rumored to be among those implicated, further complicating the web of connections. Some reports even suggest that entire families, such as Will Smith's, may have been ensnared in this alleged scheme, amplifying the stakes for those involved. Public reactions to the list have been polarized. On one hand, skeptics argue that the lack of verifiable evidence undermines its credibility, dismissing it as a sensationalized fabrication designed to stoke controversy. On the other hand, supporters of the conspiracy theory point to the eerie overlap between the celebrities named on the list and those whose homes were destroyed in the wildfires. The destruction of properties belonging to individuals like Justin Bieber and Kevin Hart, for instance, has been interpreted by some as a deliberate attempt to eliminate physical evidence tied to their alleged involvement in Diddy's activities. Adding another layer of complexity is the role of Catherine Bitts, the former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, who publicly alluded to patterns connecting the wildfires to the Diddy list. In a podcast appearance, Bitts emphasized the importance of examining the demographics of homeowners affected by the fires, particularly those rumored to be on the list. Her comments sparked renewed interest in the case, prompting calls for transparency and accountability. Meanwhile, leaked tapes allegedly featuring Diddy and other high-profile figures engaging in illicit activities have only heightened suspicions, with some sources claiming that these recordings are being discreetly circulated among Hollywood insiders. Ultimately, the Diddy list represents more than just a collection of names. It symbolizes the intersection of power, secrecy, and vulnerability. Whether it serves as a genuine exposé or a fabricated narrative remains to be seen, but its impact on public perception and the ongoing investigation cannot be overstated. As the debate rages on, one thing is clear: the list has become a lightning rod for controversy, drawing attention to the darker undercurrents of fame and influence in the entertainment industry. As the investigation into the California wildfires deepens, parallels have emerged between the current situation and the infamous Franklin cover-up of 1988, a scandal that exposed a network of corruption involving politicians, law enforcement, and child exploitation in Nebraska. Former U.S. Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Catherine Bitts, drew explicit comparisons between the two cases, suggesting that the same mechanisms of power and concealment may be at play today. During the Franklin scandal, multiple high-ranking officials were implicated in a ring of abuse and trafficking, yet efforts to suppress the truth led to a cascade of obfuscation and denial. Bitts's remarks underscored a chilling possibility that the wildfires could be part of a similarly orchestrated effort to bury evidence of systemic misconduct, this time involving Hollywood elites and their alleged ties to Diddy's activities. Bitts's invocation of the Franklin scandal was not merely rhetorical. She emphasized the recurring patterns of cover-ups involving vulnerable populations and the exploitation of children. Her comments hinted at the existence of covert operations designed to protect the reputations of powerful individuals, even at the expense of innocent lives. "Whenever you do an operation this big, you stack functions," she remarked, implying that the wildfires may serve as a smokescreen for larger crimes. This notion gained traction as reports surfaced of explosions occurring in areas that were not initially burning, raising questions about the true origins of the fires. One particularly striking incident involved a reporter covering the wildfires who captured a sudden, deafening explosion on camera. The blast, audible even through the roar of the flames, added an unsettling dimension to the unfolding events. Further compounding the mystery were additional reports of explosions in Pasadena, California, where a fiery projectile reportedly landed, igniting another blaze. Witnesses described the sound as louder and more destructive than typical wildfire-related phenomena, suggesting the possibility of intentional detonations. These incidents, coupled with Bitts's warnings, have fueled speculation that the fires were not solely a means of destroying evidence, but also a diversionary tactic to obscure other criminal activities. The deliberate targeting of specific locations, such as affluent neighborhoods and areas linked to celebrities on the Diddy list, has only deepened suspicions of foul play. Allison Carter, whose earlier predictions about the fires proved prescient, returned to the spotlight with renewed urgency. She reiterated her warnings about planned explosions, aligning them with the reported incidents during the wildfires. Her claims, once dismissed as alarmist, now carry greater weight in light of the documented explosions and the growing body of evidence pointing to a coordinated effort. Carter's insistence that these events were part of a larger plan by Hollywood elites to protect their secrets has resonated with a public increasingly skeptical of official narratives. Together, the parallels to the Franklin scandal, the documented explosions, and Carter's warnings paint a troubling picture of a cover-up that extends beyond the immediate destruction caused by the fires. The convergence of these elements suggests that the wildfires may be a symptom of a deeper malaise, one rooted in the abuse of power, the exploitation of the vulnerable, and the lengths to which some will go to protect their interests. As the investigation continues, the question remains, how far does this web of conspiracy truly reach? Amid the mounting chaos of the wildfires and the swirling conspiracy theories, a leaked phone call between Sean Diddy Combs and his son Christian provided a cryptic yet tantalizing glimpse into the alleged efforts to conceal evidence. In the recording, Diddy instructed his son to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes, a phrase that immediately raised eyebrows among listeners. While seemingly innocuous on the surface, the context and timing of the conversation suggested that the term pizza boxes was likely a code for something far more incriminating. Speculation quickly centered on the possibility that Diddy was referring to physical evidence, perhaps documents, tapes, or other materials, that could implicate him or his associates in the scandals tied to his infamous parties. Christian's initial confusion during the call further fueled suspicions that the directive carried a hidden meaning. When he asked for clarification, "The what? All the boxes left over for the pizza?" Diddy responded with a terse reminder to recycle the plastic like we talked about. This exchange, while brief, hinted at a premeditated plan to dispose of specific items in a manner that would avoid detection. The emphasis on recycling plastic, in particular, struck some as an odd detail, leading to interpretations that it referred to digital storage devices such as hard drives or USB sticks. Others speculated that the mention of boxes could allude to the very containers or tunnels where Diddy allegedly stored incriminating evidence, reinforcing the theory that the wildfires were part of a broader strategy to destroy these caches. Public reaction to the leaked call was swift and varied. Social media erupted with analyses dissecting every word and inflection, as users debated the potential significance of the coded language. One commenter succinctly captured the prevailing sentiment. "As soon as the fires were started, I immediately said this was a cover-up to whatever is coming out in the Diddy case, from minute one." Another user offered a more literal interpretation, suggesting that pizza boxes might refer to the houses themselves, metaphorically labeled as boxes, where evidence was stored or where illicit activities took place. This line of reasoning aligned with reports that several properties linked to celebrities on the Diddy list were destroyed in the fires, raising the possibility that the homes themselves were targeted for demolition. The ambiguity of the conversation has only deepened the intrigue surrounding the case. While some view the call as a smoking gun implicating Diddy in a deliberate effort to obstruct justice, others remain cautious, noting the lack of definitive proof tying the coded language to specific actions. Nevertheless, the timing of the call, amid the wildfires and the escalating scrutiny of Diddy's activities, has made it difficult to dismiss as mere coincidence. As the investigation unfolds, the pizza box's mystery continues to serve as a focal point for those seeking to unravel the truth behind the fires and the broader conspiracy allegations. The revelations surrounding the California wildfires, the Diddy list, and the cryptic phone call have ignited a firestorm of public discourse, with opinions sharply divided between skepticism and belief in the conspiracy theories. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for these debates, with hashtags like #DiddyCoverUp and #HollywoodWildfires trending as users dissect every new development. Many have expressed outrage at the alleged lengths to which Hollywood elites may have gone to protect their secrets, viewing the destruction of homes and the potential endangerment of lives as unconscionable acts of self-preservation. If this is true, it's not just about hiding evidence, it's about erasing accountability, one Twitter user wrote, encapsulating the sentiment of those who see the events as emblematic of systemic corruption. However, skepticism persists, with critics arguing that the conspiracy lacks concrete evidence and relies heavily on circumstantial connections. Some have pointed out the absence of verified documentation linking the wildfires directly to Diddy or his associates, dismissing the allegations as speculative fiction. "It's easy to connect dots when you're drawing the lines yourself," remarked a Reddit user, reflecting a broader sentiment that the narrative has been sensationalized for clicks and engagement. Despite these doubts, the sheer volume of coincidences, ranging from the timing of the fires to the destruction of properties linked to the Diddy list, has kept the conspiracy alive in public consciousness. The implications of these events extend far beyond the immediate scandal, raising profound questions about accountability and transparency in industries where power often shields wrongdoing. If the allegations prove true, they would expose a culture of impunity among elites who operate above the law, using their influence to manipulate outcomes and silence dissent. This dynamic is not unique to Hollywood. It mirrors patterns seen in political and corporate spheres, where whistleblowers and investigative journalists frequently face resistance when challenging entrenched systems. The wildfires in this context serve as a metaphor for the ways in which truth can be obscured by chaos, leaving the public to sift through ashes in search of answers. Ultimately, the unresolved nature of the case leaves room for continued speculation and debate. Whether viewed as a meticulously orchestrated cover-up or a series of unfortunate coincidences, the events underscore the enduring tension between power and accountability. As more details emerge, the public must grapple with uncomfortable truths about the lengths to which some may go to protect their secrets, and the societal structures that enable such actions to persist unchecked.